Hi everyone, it's Rax. I have another video for you for the Diablo 4 expansion, and this is going to be the leveling guide. I'm going to break it up in two different sections. One will be if you bought the expansion, and one will be if you haven't. There's going to be different strategies, so let's not waste any time. Let's get right on into it. So first of all, in Season 6, there is a season journey. As you complete it, it's going to give you a bunch of legendary powers and help you make certain builds for the classes. This is what they're going to give you. Barbs are going to get weapon mastery, weapon swapping, and the stuff for the walking arsenal key passive. Druids are going to get earth and companions. And by the way, some of the patch note changes, I think, are going to make companions better. So this might actually be a good build. Necros are going to get shadow and curses. Sorcerers are going to get elementalism. I believe that's their new key passive. And conjurations. And remember, they have the new familiars. And spoiler alert, I think the familiar leveling is actually going to be very strong. Rogues are going to get agility and stealth. Hopefully that can help us with our Goblin Blaster. And finally, Spiritborn is going to get a little bit of everything. I don't really know what that means. I guess they're going to help you build any of the archetypes there. So let's zoom in here and let's cover this. So Maxroll, I'm sure we'll have a bunch of builds for you. I will have a bunch of builds as well. You can go pick whatever build you would like. So you're going to want to make your brand new character. Most of you are probably going to make a Spiritborn. And I would strongly encourage you to start on normal. There's a bunch of different difficulties you could start on. Normal, hard, expert, or penitent, I believe, are your options. And they're challenging. Now, when I did my run in the review copy, I didn't have my Renown. So I started at level 1 with like 0 skill points. I didn't have the Altars of Lilith, the base stats. I didn't have the extra potions. I had nothing. I didn't have a build in mind. I didn't have a Codex Power. I didn't have Tempering. I didn't have anything. And playing on hard was very, very difficult. And I think their idea is actually to make the difficulties even more challenging. That way you actually have a progression for your character and you just don't start out in the hardest difficulty at the beginning. I think for most people, you should start on normal, at least until you get your class mechanic, and then you can try turning it up. Some people said, nah, Rax, I'm going to start on Penitent. I'm just going to send it. All right, but good luck. And then you can skip the base campaign, and you can start right away in the campaign of the expansion. So I keep getting questions on this. People ask, Rax, can I start from a Spiritborn at level 1, or do I have to unlock it? You get the Spiritborn immediately. Rax, can I do the campaign just for the expansion and I don't have to do the base expansion again? Yes, you can skip the base expansion and start on the second expansion. It all works in your favor. No problem. Start as a Spiritborn, skip the base campaign, and you're ready to go. If you haven't done the base campaign yet, you will have to do it if you're totally brand new to Diablo 4. So we're going to claim your Renown. If you've completed your Renown in the base game, you have to claim it right away. You're going to have to redo the Renown for the Nahantu, but it's going to help you. Now, the very first thing that I would do is not go do the campaign. The first thing I would do is go do the seasonal quest line. It's not going to take too long. I will have a video out that explains the whole Season 6 thing. But essentially, you have a quest where you have to go into a Realm Walker. You have to fight him. He spawns a portal. You want to complete that portal because it's going to give you opals, these powerful elixirs. They're called opals, and they stack with your other elixirs and your incense. This is going to let you stack an opal, an elixir, and an incense the whole way, leveling up, and it's going to help you reach level 60 faster. Remember, after you reach level 60, you have a little bit of a grind ahead of you. You have 300 Paragon points to grind. Most people won't reach Paragon 300, but those Paragon points are valuable, and they're going to help you do some of the endgame activities. So the faster you chew through those Paragon levels, the better. So you want to be running with these all the time. That's why the first thing you should do, level 1 Spiritborn, hit tab and go do the seasonal quest line first, and then we're going to go do the expansion. So I have more good news for you guys. When I did the expansion, I did some of it on hard, some of it on normal. When I was done with it, I was level 60. I was completely done. So it's not like you have to do the campaign and then go do a million other things, especially if you use the opals, the elixirs, and the incense. If you aren't 60 by the time that you're done, you're at least going to be very, very close. So that will help you. Now, let me give you some tips and tricks when going through the expansion. First thing, we already talked about it 3 times already. Have the opal, the elixir, and the incense always active. I would, again, stay on normal until you get your class mechanic. It's pretty difficult. And they said they're going to make it even more difficult. So we'll see. But play on normal unless you really want a challenge. And then when you get your Spiritborn class mechanic, then you can consider turning it up. You can right away in the campaign, almost immediately, you can go explore Nahantu, and you can go get your Codex Powers. Now, the most beautiful thing about that is you don't need to know where the dungeon is to go get your power. If you know, for example, oh, I need the poison power that buffs toxic or stinger, let's say stinger. All you have to do is hit Tab Y to open the codex thing. Type in the word stinger, and you're going to see the aspect. Click on it, and it will mark it on your map, even if it's in the fog. Open the tab Y, type in stinger, click on the aspect. It should draw a line to the aspect that you need. You don't need to know where it is in Nahantu. It will point it out for you. So go get your Codex Powers for your build. That will help you a lot. The moment that you unlock your Mercenary Quest, go do the Mercenary Quest, because you can have a friend that's going with you as long as you're playing solo. A lot of you will be playing solo. So complete those quests. You can do all the different ones to unlock the different mercenaries. I will have a guide on the mercenaries for you. One of the mercenaries' name is Subo, and he has like a map hack ability. He reveals everything on the map. He reveals where all the nodes are. I would strongly advise you, as you're riding around, every ore vein, every flower that you see, pick them up. Because I never had enough flowers to upgrade my potions going through the campaign. And believe me, you're going to want these potions. You're going to want to level them up as fast as you can. If you have him with you from the beginning, and he shows you where every flower is as you're riding by, life's going to be pretty easy. If you ever run out of opals from the season mechanic, whether you did the Realm Walker or got some from the reputation, go back and do a Realm Walker. Stop what you're doing in the campaign and go do a Realm Walker so you can get some more opals to keep those running. At the end of the campaign, there's a bunch of what I call yellow quests that kind of take you through some of the endgame activities, like Helltide or like doing the pit. Do these quests. Do them. They're going to help you. They're going to give you a lot of experience. They're going to pump up your Paragon levels, and they're going to get you positioned for the endgame. The final thing is there is a position in the campaign that has a puzzle. I'm not here to spoil it for you. Just let you know that there is a puzzle somewhere. After the game is launched on the 7th, I will post a video to the solution of the puzzle. If you want to figure it out on yourself, I commend you. Go ahead. If you ain't got no time for that and you just want me to tell you the solution, it'll be in the puzzle. It'll be properly marked. It'll be, say, spoiler, da-da-da-da-da. So that video will be there, and it will be linked in this sheet, which will be in this video below. You don't have to write anything down if you need it. When you're 15, make sure you have your Codex Powers. We already talked about that above. And then we're going to go do our class quest, the Spirit. There's already a guide for it on Maxroll for the Spiritborn Spirit Hall, if you need to go do that. This is going to take you all the way to 60s. Now you can pick your endgame build and things. Now, when you're 60, the first thing that I would recommend that you do before you go unlock Torment 1 and go farm all of your juicy stuff is finish the Renown. You do dungeons, strongholds, side quests, and or the Tenets of Akarat. Tenets of Akarat are the statues of Lilith in the expansion. You don't actually have to find any of them if you don't want to. The only thing that finding them does for you is it progresses your Renown. So if you can reach the max level of the Renown without finding a single tenet, you can skip it entirely. It does not give you permanent stats like the Altars of Lilith do. But if you see them when you're riding around, or you want to just use a map and put on some Enya and ride around and click them all, I mean, that's an easy way to get Renown as well. Finish the Renown so you get all the benefits from that. And just doing the campaign and doing the quests that they give you will pretty much already give you nearly 3 levels of the Renown already. So it won't be that long of a grind. Then, the next item up for bid is beating pit level 20. This is extremely important. And you want to do this immediately because when you're playing on Torment 1, unlock the ability to find any item in the game. You can get any mythic unique, you can get ancestral gear, you can get uniques, whatever you want. The higher Torment tiers above Torment 1 just give you higher odds for getting those items, but they don't give you necessarily better items. So playing on Torment 1 is a critical goal that you want to hit immediately. So the best way to do this is farm whatever your favorite activities are, like Helltide, Nightmare Dungeons, Infernal Hordes, the world bosses, and get all of your gear up to level 750. Then we need to re-roll it, temper it, put the right powers on it, and don't forget about the seasonal vendor in Zimbabwe. He might have really good gear for you as well. And progressing through the season journey, make sure you're claiming all of these rewards as you start to build up your really powerful character. We need to get Pit 20 cleared immediately. It's the #1 priority. Then after that, it's really just progressing through the game. You're going to farm on Torment 1. You're going to farm boss materials. You're going to try to clear higher in the pit. You're going to try to masterwork your gear. Again, do all the different activities, give you different things. We'll go over that in the powering up guide, but all of it is pretty valuable in one way or the other. So just min-max and farm those ancestrals and those uniques. And kind of the real end game goal of Diablo 4 is to clear the Dark Citadel on Torment 4, which is not easy. The Dark Citadel is not free at all. If you clear the Dark Citadel, which is the multiplayer co-op raids, on Torment 4, you get an exclusive armor set, which looks pretty damn good, and you get an exclusive mount, which actually looks really awesome. So I think this is going to be the key thing that most people are going for. Now, if you don't have the expansion, it's a lot of the same of what we've been doing before. We're going to level up in Helltide most of the way. Helltide is now unlocked at the beginning. It's extremely strong with a bunch of the hints for Helltide that we had before. Just like the other way, we are going to start on seasonal and normal and skip the campaign, claim our renown, do the seasonal questline first to use the opals. It's exactly the same. We're going to go get our class mechanic. Sorry, you don't have the Spiritborn if you don't have the expansion. Then my math says about level 48, but I want to be sure that I'm not debating you guys, so I put it at level 50. About level 48 or 50, you can go and do a full clear of all the strongholds in the world, and that should level you all the way to 60, and it should still be the fastest way to level up. Now, when you do these strongholds, I would advise doing them on normal difficulty, again, the lowest difficulty, because the XP all comes at the end. It used to be from the turn-in, but now I think it's coming from the actual first boss kill, I think is what they said. Might be wrong on that, but either way, the XP comes at the end of the stronghold that made the huge chunk. If you do every stronghold based upon the math that they provided from us, based upon my tests and calculations from what it was before, about level 48-ish, if you do every stronghold, will put you at level 60. It should be the fastest way to level up. And then the checklist here is exactly the same, minus the Nahantu Renown. You don't have to do Nahantu Renown because you don't have Nahantu. So you beat level 20 in the pit, and then you start working toward everything else and powering up your character and farming the boss mats and getting ready to power up here. Again, you don't have the Dark Citadel. You don't have the expansion either, so don't even have to clear that on Torment 4. That's it, guys. That's the leveling guide. So it's essentially what it boils down to is always keep an opal active with an elixir and an incense. The difficulties are tough. Like, they're not free. So normal is going to be where most players should start on. Beat the campaign. Get Subo, your mercenary, because he's going to reveal all the flowers and pick them up. Complete your Nahantu Renown. Clear Pit 20 immediately, and then work toward building the strongest character possible so you can clear Torment 4 Dark Citadel and get your godly set and your awesome mount. I'll be playing all the time, and I'll help you guys get there. Thank you.